Battlegrounds Season 5 brought tons of new anomalies to the game, and in this video I'll give you all my best tip for every single anomaly. At this point, I've played every anomaly numerous times, and I figured out what works and what doesn't so you don't have to. Let's get right into it. My best tip for Secrets of Dgon is to find Elise. Rolling on Tavern 6 with Elise is the most effective way to find 7 drops because even if you level to 7, rolling into 7 drops is actually pretty rare. Rolling on Tavern 6 for both 6 drops and 7 drops is your best bet. For Mimra and Clockwork Stadium, once again the tip is to find Elise. Because you literally cannot level to 6 on time, rolling and holding some monkeys on tier 4 lets you hit multiple 6 drops before anyone else. Bring in the buddies. The best card you can find is Bran. Bran is insanely powerful with a lot of buddies, notably Sire, Zephyrus, and Wagtoggle buddies that allow you to basically be infinite. Uncompensated upset, you want to avoid heroes that discover a minion off your hero power, such as ETC, Scavs, Rat King, stuff like that. Because buying a minion is so cheap, it's much better to just buy 2 minions than to hero power for 1. Big League, you want to pick heroes that are strong the first few turns, such as Queen Wagtoggle, because you really don't want to lose your early fights and take way too much damage on turn 2. Overseer's Orb. In my opinion, the best starting units are of course tokens, but if you don't get a token, then Murlocs are the next best thing. Murloc start is extremely strong to force the best tribe in the game, and honestly, Murloc start might be better than Token start. I just don't have enough data to tell yet, but Murloc start is very solid. Pack stands. This one is not too common, but for this one, leveling to 6 isn't that great because the payoff of the extra shop slot is no longer there. So I think playing an elemental comp on Tavern 5 or a brand comp on Tavern 5 is slightly better. Path of the Treasure Seeker. In a lot of situations, the best play is to roll 3 times on turn 1, level on turn 2, and then buy a monkey on turn 3. Especially if you're Rune, then you can just hold the monkey. For Finicky Hourglass, most heroes want to go 3 on 3 in this lobby, so keep that in mind for your curve. Any other curve is a bit too awkward unless you really know what you're doing. Echoes of Argus. If beasts are in the lobby, Rylak is completely busted, so you want to gravitate towards a Rylak build, which can be paired with cards such as Busker, Primal Fin, or Moonbacon Jazzer. This is by far the strongest to do in every Echoes of Argus lobby. False Idols. Your early triples are most likely going to be bait, so try not to triple useless minions because they just lose you 1 gold. For Golden Arena, 2 cards that make you completely infinite are Wraith and Bran, so do not skip these cards. If Murlocs are in, every single final board space is going to be as many base kills as possible while holding BS. Otherwise, if Elementals are in, people are going to force going infinite with Double Trumpeter. Might of Kaggroth. Try to force Undead or Beast if possible, and if neither are in the lobby, the mechs are the best thing to play. Undead is a really good counter to high attack minions, so you'd beat all the builds that rely on high attack minions without any HP. Fortitude of Kaggroth. There's a 100% win rate strategy with this anomaly if mechs are in, and you get the hero Vol'jin. Basically, you want to repeatedly swap onto magnetics and then attach it to your mech for exponential HP scaling. Anti-Gravity Stadium. For this one, you just want to play as normally as possible. Do not worry about the anomaly. A fair reward. If you decide to triple on turn 4 or turn 9, most likely you probably want to hold that triple to take a discover of the next tavern tier because the prizes get a lot better when they upgrade. Keep in mind that they did nerf this anomaly, so you can't play the triple on turn 4 and then open up the discover on turn 5 like you previously could. You just have to hold your golden minion and then play it on turn 5. All Panda. A 100% legitimate tip is to pick the panda with the normie skin because that's the most likely panda skin that people will take, and it's going to be harder for people to scout you if you have the same skin as a lot of people. Like suppose you're the only one with a certain skin, and then in the in the match history, people can know exactly who you faced and who you beat and stuff like that. But if you're one of the normie pandas, you blend in with all the other normie pandas, and then so people don't actually know who you faced. They just know that you faced another normie panda. Okay, I probably spent too long explaining this useless tip, but I promise you it's good. Anyways, all sire. 100% legitimate pick is to pick the sire with the normie skin because that's the most likely. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop. Anyways, the actual best tip for sire is to pick a quest turn 1 that'll likely synergize with other quests. My favorite is Invigorating Conch because it works really well with like cookbook or anima bribe. Transient treasures. If you get a good quest that wants you to stay down on turn 2, don't be afraid to. Example is if you get red hand or tiny henchman, you definitely want to stay down on turn 2. Little League. So for Little League, you want to watch my video for the top 5 best comps to play. But actually, it's probably just best to like force one of those comps when you're in a position to force it, because otherwise you're not going to find scaling and you're probably going to get like 5th at best. Oops All lobbies is pretty much the same. You want to come into the anomaly like pretty much exactly what you're going to play and avoid buying trash and just focus on building this comp. For example, in Oops All Elementals, you want to hard force playing Gusty Trumpeters, because if you don't, then you're just going to lose to people who do hard force Gusty Trumpeters. Prudence of Amethyst. So what has worked for me on this anomaly is you want to start floating turn 2 onwards, buying great minions only. And when you think you need to stabilize because you're dying, you just roll down and don't worry about the 1 gold tip anymore. Now to talk about the biggest anomaly of all, not being subscribed. My main tip for this one is to just click the subscribe button. Otherwise, all the subs in your lobby are just going to have an advantage over you. Okay, for real though, and we're now going to talk about some of the tempo anomalies. Everything on fire. If you find it stronger, staying down on 1 turn 2 or staying down on 2 turn 5 are reasonable ways to save HP and might be the difference maker between 8th and top 4. You could always wait to see if your opponent levels to see if you want to level or not. Blood of Savjz. Plays similarly to Everything on Fire, except it punishes you for a rough mid-game instead of early game. For this one, you want to try to play strong mid-range comps such as Mechanotank or Deflectobot or Banana Slamma, because oftentimes you don't have enough time to level and get an endgame scaling comp online. Like for this one, I've won many games without a finalized board state just because everyone that tried to scale just died. Wisdom of Older. Hitting a Mercules on turn 3 is really strong. Otherwise, you probably want cards such as Anoratron or Coglercopter. And in a mech lobby, you want to bump as much as possible turn 3 onwards. Blessed or Blighted. Get a taunted Reborn Leroy as soon as possible. It denies their shield on their leading unit and is definitely the best unit to Reborn. The Yagasium, lean into demons or mechs from the very start, including Hero Select, because those tribes benefit from the buffed shops you're likely to get a ton. Double Header. For this one, don't waste your double header proc on something useless in the mid game. There are plenty of key cards to duplicate that provide tons of directions, for example Banana Slamma, so don't settle for something mediocre. Grapnel of the Titans. It's super easy to just power level with this anomaly, so just focus on building a strong board early and mid game so you can just level fast. For Perfected Alchemy, make sure to pick a hero that has access to high tier minions very early on, such as maybe Eudora or Toki, because you can golden a high tier minion, which gives you plenty of direction. Golganeth Tempest, you really want to pretend you're Millhouse with a race and just go crazy. So you want to value cards that favor a Millhouse strategy, which is cards such as Peggy, Brand, Skyfin, maybe Boogie Monster, stuff that allows you to just buy a lot of things. Finally, for the newer anomalies, the first one I'll discuss is Gladiator Spoils. So for me, the thing that works with Gladiator Spoils is actually going 3-on-3 or even 4-on-4 sometimes. Because you might think that the best strategy is to just win every fight early on, but honestly, going 3-on-3 and getting a random 2-drop isn't even that bad. And then once you start winning, you start discovering minions of higher tier. So going 3-on-3 or even 4-on-4 is not that bad at all. And for the other one, we have Uprising. Uprising, what has worked for me in the past is just going for tier 2 prizes on turns 4, 5, and maybe even 6 if you get enough great deals. The best prizes to take in such a situation are unlimited coin and great deal, which allows you to level like crazy. Of course, Ice Block is the best tier 3 prize, so snap pick that one if you see it. Summoning of Champions. Even though this anomaly was just released today, I've played it twice, and I can confidently say that passive 6-drop scalers such as Sister and Octosari, or also Eternal Summoner, are the strongest 6-drops, and you really want to build your whole game around this 6-drop. So if you get a Sister, definitely force Undead on Tavern 1. Shackles of the Primus was also released today, and it seems that most top players are just playing a Bream counter comp and rolling for either base skill or Coral Murgler every single turn. And if you don't hit one, oh well, tough luck. The last anomaly that was released today was Curse of Agrimar, and I also played this one twice. This one, I can confidently say that the most important thing in this anomaly is to win your early fights. Even though it may seem like you can sacrifice HP early because you only take one at a time, you have so much leeway and room to greed in the mid game if you just save your lives early game, even starting from turn 1. We've now gone through every single anomaly currently in the game. For future anomalies, I'll be sure to cover them as well, but for now, these are the ones that I feel comfortable with. Hope you find these high-level tips useful to your games, and if you want a list of these tips while playing, I've also made a document of them so you can access them easily. That'll be it. See ya.